Hi guys, welcome back to LPB Racing for the INDYCAR series on Project Cars 2. This is round 6, race 2 here at Road America. We're getting ready for the start. It is Bidzster on pole again with Johnny McMullen alongside. Here we go. Getting ready for the start of this one, and we're off. Across the line, Bidzster gets just ahead of Johnny. Let's see if he can get ahead before the next corner. Stevie's alongside Neil in the background. Into turn 1, it is Johnny in the lead. Bidzster goes wide. Stevie has a little look at the inside. He's through past Neil anyway. And then they all come down the hill towards turn 2. Bidzster slightly defending from Stevie. Stevie having a little look. But out of turn 2, it is Johnny McMullen in the lead from Bidzster, Stevie. Then it is Neil, Gummy Bear, Blaney and Keith. That is the order so far. Down towards the next corner. Stevie looks like he's challenging Bidzster. Getting close up behind. Bidzster goes slightly defensive on the way into the corners to make sure Stevie's not going to go for it. And then Johnny McMullen brakes very early, and Bidzster tries to go around the outside, ends up eating curb, and Stevie goes round the inside and takes the position. Oh, Stevie's lost it! Bidzster's having to take the brakes, and so does Neil and everyone else. And Gummy Bear goes straight through the middle, and there's Stevie, he's spun. And then we've got Neil Farmack there, he had to brake to avoid Bidzster, who had to brake to avoid Stevie, so very close there. All happened, but we'll get a little replay on what happened there just from a different angle after this first lap, but everyone away well after that. So Johnny then gets a good lead there because Bidzster had to brake and almost come to a standstill to avoid Stevie there. So 2 seconds the gap now, already halfway through this first lap. Gummy Bear there in 3rd, Neil 4th now, Blaney 5th with Keith behind in 6th. Into the right-hander before the end of the track. We've got this little chicane that we go through here, this little right, then a left bend, and then we go into the last corner. Round the last corner we go and up the hill. Lap 1 complete. Let's have a replay of what happened between Stevie and Neil and everyone else. The action on the first lap then, we're on board with Neil Farmack, so we're going down to the second turn 3. Johnny holds up a bit of traffic there. Bidzster goes wide onto the curb. Stevie takes advantage. Neil almost takes advantage. Then look here, watch Stevie ahead. Back end goes. Bidzster brakes. Neil has to brake hard as well. Luckily no contact. But then look at Gummy Bear. He takes advantage on the left. We'll just get a replay from Gummy Bear's point of view now. Gummy Bear. So watch. This is how you take advantage of a situation. Stevie spins. Bidzster brakes. So does Neil. We think right. Over we go. Straight through. We almost get tapped by Stevie. But like, yeah, okay. Got some more positions. Happy days. So as we come back from that then, Neil then after that, after having to avoid Bidzster and Blaney down to 4th place, but it looks like he's challenging Gummy Bear. So look at coming up onto the back of Gummy Bear, who goes very wide at turn 1, kicks up the grass. Neil is going to go down the inside to the next corner, comes across and down the inside and takes 3rd position. So Gummy Bear makes a little mistake there and that costs him quite a bit. So meanwhile, Johnny McMullen now in the lead in the Pertec car. So got away well from that first bit. He did break a bit early down here on the first lap, but probably just playing it safe. And everyone else having to scatter behind, but still Johnny in the lead of the race. Bidzster 2nd, giving chase. Neil is 3rd with Gummy Bear in 4th. We've got Blake then in 5th, Keith 6th, and Stevie is back down to 7th after that incident at this very corner. The last time round just went in too hot, and that time he got it right. So good to see him get it right that time. Let's see if Stevie can make his way back up the field, because in the last race he went right backwards after a couple of mistakes, and then obviously had to do his pit stop as well, so that brought him down even further. So let's hope Stevie can pick up the pace in this one and see if he can get back up the field to challenge the front runners, because we know he's got the pace because he's been up there. So let's see what he can do in this one. Keith, I think Keith ran a bit wide there, so it could help Stevie out, because you can see the gap on Stevie at the top of the screen going down. Keith makes a little mistake there, but then soon to get back up to top speed, because this car does hit its top speed very quickly. The default setup could do with a little bit more of the gear ratio in 6th gear just to make it a little bit longer, but it's all good. Still a very nice car to drive, very lovely car to drive, this IndyCar. Beautiful, in fact, I'd go so far to say. So really good car. Stevie then gets on the back of Keith. Is he using a push to pass? It might be, because he's closing up a bit more rapidly than usual. They both take to the grass and Keith is on the grass. Stevie goes through on the inside, so probably use a push to pass there and straight through. He didn't do the conventional push and pass which Blakeney did to Keith in the first race, but Hey ho, he's still okay after that. So Blakeney then goes through in 5th place. So Blakeney in 5th, he's trying to keep up with Gummy Bear, just trying to keep the gap the same. All the top runners still quite close together. Bidzster now 1 second off of Johnny, and he's not yet. He's only 1 second off now. 1 to 1.2 seconds off Johnny. There he is. So Johnny must have made a little mistake somewhere. So not making his own life very easy there. Oh, and speaking of not making his life easy, round he goes. Right round he goes. Johnny McMullen there. Right round he goes, and then he rejoins Joe. Almost hits Neil as he rejoins as well. So. Pretty close there, but we'll get a quick replay on that for you now. Business to watch. Johnny's car takes too much of the curb on the inside. Rear end goes round, and we're trying to avoid him. Oh, we have to hit the brakes. Then Neil comes round as Johnny rejoins, and look, he's pointing right towards the track and almost hits Neil Farmack. Very close indeed. Then just gets up to speed before Gummy Bear gets there, but Johnny McMullen could really do with sort of trying to drive a bit more parallel to the track first before actually just rejoining. Don't rejoin at a 90-degree angle. And as we come back from that, he rejoins in 3rd place. Gummy Bear behind in 4th, giving chase now to Johnny McMullen. Let's see if Johnny can catch up to Neil and Bidzster at the front. So the two AJ Foyt Enterprises cars. There we are, the black one, the black and orange one, which is Bidzster. No surprise. And then Neil Farmack in the white, red and blue one. He's in 2nd place. Johnny then in 3rd now with Gummy Bear giving chase. Blakeney in 5th, rubbing his hands together and hoping for a few more people to make mistakes. Stevie up in 6th, he's actually catching Blake slowly here, so he's slowly bringing down the gap to Blake, and Keith trying to keep with the pack. So it looks like it could be an eventful race to unfold here, as Gummy Bear tries to stick with Johnny McMullen as they come over the line. So pit stop window open now, so pit stop window's been open for a lap or so, remember you can't pit on the first 2 laps or the last 2 laps of the race, so they've got until lap 19 now to actually do the pit stops. So once you start lap 20, you can't do a pit stop. So lap 19 is the last lap for you to do a pit stop. So let's see what people do here. So Bidzster pulling out a lead on the. Obviously, remember they're all on the alternate tyres, the red wall tyre at first, and then they swap to the white wall primary tyres. But obviously, it doesn't show the graphic change on this game. Neil goes through there, and Johnny's catching up. Johnny was catching him until he went wide onto the grass, so I don't think Johnny is pushing too hard. He's making the rookie mistake of pushing too hard too early, and he is. He's made another little mistake there as well, so he's going back into the hands of Gummy. Just needs to rein it in a little bit, maybe push it 90%, not 100, just because it is a race. So if you drive at 100% like you're doing, like you're doing qualifying this. Oh, Neil's slowed down and Bidzster's off, so something's happened there between the 2 teammates. But I think Bidzster must have spun, and then Neil tried to avoid him. So Bidzster then rejoins, but he's back down in his 5th place. He'll be kicking himself as Gummy Bear goes off the track as well. So it's all happened there. We'll get some more replays on that. Okay, here's a replay of what happened to Bidzster then. So here we go into the corner. And Bidzster just loses the back end of the car. And then Neil has to come around and almost stop to avoid his teammate. And then Johnny goes through the inside and takes the lead. But watch Gummy Bear here. This is what happened afterwards with Gummy Bear. He just goes too wide around the corner, too much speed in the turbulent area of the other cars, and he goes off onto the gravel as well. But look, he just goes parallel to the grass, waits for a gap to rejoin, and then rejoins the track. Johnny McMullen, take note. So as we come back from that then, Johnny McMullen gets gifted the lead again. So Johnny McMullen gets gifted the lead, and Neil Farmack is up into 2nd, obviously having to avoid his teammate, but Blakeney is now up to 3rd, Bidzster is now in 4th, and Gummy Bear is back in 7th. So that all got really weird for a moment there, but Bidzster will now be the man trying to push, so trying to push hard. Neil Farmack now within 8/10 of Johnny, so let's see if he can keep up with Johnny and challenge him for a possible race win. So as we go over the curb there, really wide over the curb there for Neil Farmack, kicking up the dust. Not the most conventional or fastest line there is, but it's a line nonetheless. There's Blakeney then under the bridge. Under the bridge, drafting Neil Farmack is actually catching up to Neil here, so Blakeney then finally finding his feet and getting some good pace up down there, so he's in 3rd position, trying to challenge. As Bidzster in 4th, pushing hard to try and catch up now. He'll be livid with his mistake from earlier. Into this corner, very fast into there. Let's go on board with Bidzster as we try and catch Blakeney in front, who just kicks up the dust. And to the left. Got some very good speed into there and almost loses the car again. Bidzster really pushing hard there. Obviously not got the rear grip he wants, but front end's gripping just fine, but the rear end's having none of it. So definitely some kind of balance change on that car, but Bidzster pushing nonetheless, and he's trying to catch Blake here. There he goes. Catching up slowly, approaching the penultimate corner almost. So the corner wide over the curb, but it follows Blake's line there. Following Blakeney's line. And stick with Bidzster because it's the closest one on track at the minute. Johnny McMullen, meanwhile, up front has pulled out 4 seconds on Neil Farmack, so he's really pulled out a nice gap. It's about 5 seconds now, in fact. It's really big gap now between Johnny and Neil Farmack. Meanwhile, Blake is trying to close up to Neil and Bidzster's trying to close up to Blake, so it's all happening here. There's Neil Farmack, there's Johnny. So Johnny's coming down towards turn 2 now. Just into turn 2 we go. There we go, out the corner. And Neil's just coming down to the same corner now. So here we go, into the corner. That's about a 4-second gap. Blakeney then, he's only a couple of seconds behind Neil Farmack, and Bidzster right on Blakeney's tail. So let's see what Bidzster's going to do. And look who that is behind. Stevie's catching up to both of them. Stevie's really on a push here. So Stevie obviously got the car dialed in just how he wants it, and he's there. He's trying to catch up to him, and then Gummy Bear at the back. He's trying to catch up back up to Keith. So a few little battles developing on track as Blakeney makes a mistake there. Bidzster goes up the inside. Just saw his car move out. Bidzster goes past Blake there. So Bidzster passes Blake. That must be on the inside into the corner. Must have got the run. Or Blake must have run wide. Either or, as Blakeney runs wide in the background. Stevie goes to the outside. Blake's on the inside, but Stevie gets past even before the corner. And straight through into 4th place goes Stevie, and Blakeney's back down to 5th place again. So he likes 5th place in this race, Blakeney, but he's back there again. So Stevie then, now his job to try and catch Bidzster, who I don't think is having the best of time on these set of tyres. So we'll see what he's going to do, but doesn't look the same Bidzster as he was in the first race. So we'll see as the race goes on, as the race develops, what goes on with Bidzster's pace. But meanwhile, Neil, he's in the middle of Bidzster and Johnny. He's got 4 seconds either way to forward and back. So Johnny McMullen there over the line, dominant fashion so far. After a few mistakes from people, he's got his head down, trying to keep it mistake free. The Pertec car down towards the first corner. Down a gear, in on the power. Lovely line there from Johnny McMullen. As we look at Neil Farmack going into the corner, as it looks like his hands are pointing left, but they're not, because the car is actually going straight. There we go. And there we go. Resets his hands now. There we go. Now going on to the inside camera. But Bidzster then, he's trying to catch up to all these boys. Stevie's trying to stick with Bidzster there in the silver Team Penske car. He's Gummy Bear's teammate who's at the back. So Gummy Bear struggling here at the back. He's trying to keep with Keith. He's just making mistake after mistake. So looks like Bidzster and Gummy Bear aren't enjoying the balance of the car as much as they did in the first race. So gives the advantage to Keith anyway, because Keith is in 6th place. He's still okay there. Good on him. As Bidzster then tries to keep away from Stevie and catch up to the front runners, but that's not quite happening so far. And Stevie then looks like he's the man at the minute with the pace in this race. So 10 seconds behind the overall leader, only a couple of seconds behind Bidzster. So really trying to push on as we go around this corner. You can see here that we go more or less flat, then we have to lift, and then we can go back on the power again. That's because these soft tyres overheat as they go into the long radius corners. Towards the end of the long radius corners, they get really warm, and you have to lift off a bit just to bring a bit of grip back, just to wake the tyres up, take a bit of pressure off them. And then into the next corner we go, braking hard now, down into 3rd or 2nd gear, whichever one takes your fancy. Nice and smooth out of there for Stevie. So let's have a look at Bidzster, see what he's doing differently there, as we go on board with Bidzster there, chucking it into the corner, and getting a good balance on the car there. And he's trying to catch up to his teammate. Stevie trying to catch up to him. Let's have a look at Blake through the same corner. Oh, looks like Blake's got a lot of understeer there. It just looked like a lot of understeer initially into that corner. There's Keith going around it nicely there, well done. And then we've got Gummy Bear coming up to the same one as well, just trying to get a perspective of different people's lines here, just to see what people do, as Gummy Bear goes quite wide. Misses the apex by a country mile and then runs onto the curb on the outside. So Johnny McMullen in the lead then, 6 seconds now ahead of Neil Farmer, almost 7 in fact. So Johnny really doing well with the lap times. You look at the lap times, 1:48.1 at the top left of your screen, 1:48.1 for Johnny, 1:50 for Neil, 1:48.7 for Bidzster, and 1:48.8 for Stevie. So Johnny, Bidzster and Stevie, the people with the pace at the minute, so Neil must have made a mistake last time round. And Blake Keith and Gummy Bear are back in the 50s and 51s, so his average pace from most of the guys here, so lap 8 of 21 here at Road America. And Johnny McMullen then with a 6 to 7 second gap from Neil Farmack, pushing hard at the front in the Pertec car. He's not been with us very long, Johnny McMullen. This is only like his 3rd proper race with us, I think, or his 3rd proper round with us, and definitely showing us he's got the pace. So probably his 2nd or 3rd round, I can't remember, but no, he's not been with us long, and looking like he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Let's see if he can break. Well, T-Y's the only other person to beat Bidzster's winning streak this season, so let's see if Johnny can do the same with a good performance here. So he's in front for now, but he's still got a fair amount of this race to go. Just over half distance to go in this 21 lap race here at Road America. Neil Farmack then is in 2nd place. He's coming across the line, 7 seconds to Johnny, and then Bidzster's got 3 seconds to him. Stevie's only 1.6 seconds off Bidzster. Lap times this last time round, 48.7 for Johnny McMullen, 49.4 for Neil, 49.8 for Bidzster, and a 49 flat for Stevie. So more or less on the same pace, apart from Johnny, who's going a bit faster, 48.7. So the two at the front definitely with a bit more pace than the others. Look back, we've got Blake there in 5th place. Keith is still going around in a solid 6th place here, so it looks like some good points on the way for him. Gummy Bear in 7th place points at the minute, so 7th place for him. Just up there he goes wide again, just struggling with that car, just does not feel the same. I don't think he's got the right balance in that car. Something's changed from the last race. Oh, Bidzster! He's stopped! He's reset! So he must have spun again! So Bidzster must have spun again. That's unlike Bidzster. He's, well, to be honest with you, I think it's a bit of karma for him, because he's actually had that much success this season that he's not had that much bad success, that much bad luck, but obviously it's all striking him in one race. So we'll get a quick replay on that for you. Okay, here's a replay. What happened to Bidzster then? So it's similar to what Stevie did in the first race. Round goes the back axle, just can't keep the speed, and then he goes into the wall. Luckily though, he resets the car and he's on his way again. As we come back from that then, Bidzster then, after making more or less a carbon copy of Stevie earlier, then he does the same mistake there as Blakeney goes onto the grass, so he can't capitalise on the gap that Bidzster's shrunk down. He's making his own mistake, so Bidzster then got some work to do now. He's got 4 seconds to Stevie and 3 seconds to Blake, so he's got some definitely got some work to do. So we'll see what happens in this race for him. Johnny McMullen over the line to start lap 10. Last lap is a 48.3. Neil Farmack, he's coming up to the line now. Let's see if he can get into the 48s with Johnny, or he's going to stick in the 49s. It's a 49.5 for Neil, sticks in the 49s. Stevie this time round, 1:49.5, but I think he did have to slow down to avoid Bidzster. Oh, Bidzster's in the pits. That's what Bidzster's doing. So his tyres must have given up. He must have had enough of those tyres. So he's coming into the pits. So he's going to try the primary tyre. He's trying a different strategy to everyone else. So there he is up on the jacks, getting his tyres changed. But that will fall into the back of the pack. So Bidzster is now in last place, but we'll see what happens as we go along this race. So Bidzster there on the primary tyre. You can see the wall change on the tyre. Doesn't show on everyone else's car because it's not their replay to save, but it doesn't do it on the graphic. The graphics doesn't work on it, but still, most people change, and I can tell when they change compound because of how it puts the tyres on. So I know, it's a little secret, so you can't get away with it. But still, Neil Farmack motoring on then, 8 seconds behind Johnny McMullen, who's making this race look rather easy. 8 seconds ahead. You'll know that Bidzster's pitted. Will he respond to what Bidzster's doing? Because we'll see if Bidzster finds some pace on that tyre. Might stop him from spinning as much, we'll see, but Neil Farmack there second place. Then we got Stevie, then we got Blake, and Keith's only 3 seconds. Oh, got a spin in the background. That's Gummy Bear. Gummy Bear's off the track again, so Gummy Bear makes a mistake. There he is, he's just recovering there, so I think them tyres have given up the ghost as well. So Gummy Bear just having a horrible time here at Road America. And the bright yellow high-vis car, so thank God his cars are bright yellow, so then when he goes off onto the grass, people can see him, but still motoring on, still not giving up in this race, which is good to see. Bidzster out the pits on them primary tyres, and the car looking a bit more stable now, so we'll see how that goes on in the race as we look at... Johnny's in from the lead. Johnny McMullen pits on lap 11, so on to lap 11, lap 11 for Neil, lap 10 for Johnny, so he's in on lap 10 actually before he crossed the line, so beg your pardon there ladies and gentlemen, but Neil and Stevie go through. Blaney's going to go through as well. We don't know what Bidzster's at, but we don't know what Bidzster's lap's going to be yet, because he's not actually put a lap in, but all we know is he's pitted. So there's Bidzster, there he is, he's coming through the back section of track now. Coming there 19 seconds in front, remember they've not pitted yet, so that'll make a difference later on as Johnny's still coming down the pit lane then, still coming down the pit lane on the limiter. Gummy Bear's in, he's had enough of them tyres, so Gummy Bear's thrown in the towel as well. As Bidzster comes up to the last few corners, Johnny is out of the pit, so I don't think there's any chance for Bidzster to win this race unless Johnny absolutely throws this in the bin, but I hope he doesn't. I hope Johnny can win and take his first race, win with LPB Racing, that is on paper, because he's won a race on track already, but he didn't get to keep it because he had a jump start, so he ended up with a equivalent of a drive-through penalty on one of the worst tracks to accumulate a drive-through penalty, which is Indianapolis GP, because the pit lane is the size of one of the straights, so it is huge. So it was a 45-second penalty he got because it took 45 seconds to get down the pit lane. So that was very unlucky for him, but yeah, just got too eager at the start, and he's been too eager at the start of a couple of races, especially Texas, but he's learning as he goes along, so as long as people learn and improve and learn from the mistakes and don't repeat them, I'm quite happy. So Johnny McMullen then kicks up the dust in 5th place, motoring on, trying to see if he can keep the gap that he had after the pit stops, as he goes a bit twitchy there, so the primary tyre biting him in the backside as Bidzster goes up under the Chevrolet bridge, under the Corvette bridge shall I say, down to the next corner, looking like these primary tyres are suiting Bidzster a lot more here. Well, this is the Bidzster's first flying lap on these tyres, so we'll get an idea of what the lap time's going to be this lap from Bidzster on the primaries. Neil Farmack goes through onto lap 12 then. He goes through just over half distance in this race now. Stevie on lap 12 as well. He goes through in second, he's not pitting yet either, so he's quite happy with his first set of tyres. So is Blakeney. But Keith's not. Keith's had enough of them tyres and he's in the pits. So Keith comes into the pit. Oh! Keith, he's got, oh no, he's sped in the pit lane. He must have gone 20 mile an hour over the pit lane. Either that or he was looking for his pit limiter and he hit the reset button again, or hit the home button, the PS home button. So Keith, unfortunately now then, is out of the race. So very unlucky for Keith then. So we are only left with 6 cars. Wow, how times change. But still, Gummy Bear going round, so unlucky for Keith there, really unlucky for him. So hats off for trying, but just got very unlucky there in the end with that pit stop. So Neil Farmer then in the lead of the race, Stevie in second, 3 seconds behind him, Blakeney then in third, Johnny McMullen in fourth. He's so what lap time did Bidzster do on them tyres? 49.7 on the primary. That's not too bad for the primary tyre. Pretty decent lap actually on the primaries that, so good on Bidzster. See what Johnny can do on those tyres this time around, because Johnny's pitted, so he should be on the primary tyre as well. So we'll see what he can do on this lap as well. So Neil Farmack last time round a 50.6. Stevie's still on the 49.9, so it doesn't look like Stevie wants to pit anytime soon, but we'll see. Because even if the lap times look good, it depends if the balance feels good. There's a big difference there. As Neil Farmack decides to go around again, so he's not pitting again. Stevie, I don't think he'll pit either, because he's fine on them tyres. If he can still do 49s on them tyres, he might as well stick at it. So Stevie then comes across the line to start lap 13. Well, last time round, a 50.3 for Neil and a 50.4 for Stevie. So still on the pace, these lot, on these tyres. So, but Bidzster has done to do a bit of avoiding on his tyres, so not done bad, and so is Neil, to be honest. But Blakeney a 53 that time round, so looks like Blakeney might be coming in for tyres soon. Here's Johnny McMullen, his first flying lap on the primary tyre. Let's see what this man can do over the curb and up to the start-finish line. Working his way up the hill, over the crest. down towards the line, and the lap time for Johnny is a 49.2. So he's got half a second on Bidzster as well on that lap. So on Bidzster's fastest on the primary. So yep, definitely Johnny with the man with the pace here. Let's see what Bidzster can pull out the hat this time, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. Let's see if he can beat the 49.2. 49 dead. So Bidzster is finding pace on these tyres. So it looks like Bidzster could be back in this running for a few more positions, shall I say. Not necessarily first position, but a couple more positions would be nice. Gummy Bear, and he's coming around the first corner. He's been in the pits as well, I think. So Stevie then, Neil in the lead of the race, 4 seconds ahead of Stevie. Pressing on hard in the AJ4 Enterprises car, the ABC sponsorship. Around the S's in towards the last corner, keeping it silky smooth. Just not wanting to make any mistakes, not going too far to the outside, and not going too far to the outside of the curb as well. And Neil's in, he's had enough of these tyres, he's finally in the pits, he's had enough. And will Stevie follow him? No, Stevie goes round, so we'll see what this can do then. Stevie's obviously still got faith in these tyres as Neil Farmack comes into the pits then, and towards his pit box. So Stevie goes round then, the leader of the race then, Stevie on lap 14, Neil in the pits on lap 13. Blakeney goes through, take a position, because he's not pitted yet. This is where's Johnny, there's Neil, he's still in the pit box. Johnny's coming around the last corner, so we know Johnny's going to take the lead, but what's the gap going to be? Neil's coming down the pits, let's go on board with Johnny as we watch. We should see Neil's name there, that's Keith, and then we see Neil's name there. So there's Neil. As we see Johnny go down into the distance there, we're on board with Neil Farmack now, we can see Johnny. Bidzster's coming up to the last corner, so he's not going to be much closer to Neil, I don't know though. Let's have a look. Neil Farmack here, off the limiter now. There he goes. Bidzster's just coming over the crest here, so he's not got the, he's not got to Neil, but he's 6.5 seconds off him, so it's not too bad. Last time around for Bidzster as well, 49.2, and Johnny at 48.3 for Johnny McMullen. Has he put the primary tyres on, or is he on another set of alternates? I wonder. But still, he's up, makes a little mistake there. Well, we'll soon tell around the other corner, because he should be able to go flat around the around that long right-hander if he's got the right tyres on. So we'll soon see if he has got the other ones on. So we'll let's go for a little on board with Johnny here, see if he's not cheating. Let's see if he's got the right rubber on, because obviously it puts the red wall tyre on all the other cars that are, whose replay it isn't. Let's have a listen. He's having to lift a little bit, so it makes me wonder whether he has put the primary tyres on, but we'll see. So I'll be checking after the race. Blakeney then into the last corner as Stevie in the pits. Stevie's in the pits, and Blakeney says, no, I'm not coming in yet, I want to lead a lap. So Stevie then into the pits then on lap 14. Here he comes down the pit lane looking for his box, which is somewhere. It's probably this next one. There we go. And stop up on the jacks and get the tyres changed. Johnny McMullen's going to come through to retake second place, and then the lead after Blakeney pits. Let's see where Stevie comes out in retrospective to Neil. There goes Johnny. There goes Stevie coming down the pit lane now. Neil's coming out the last corner now, and then Bidzster's not too far behind. So we'll see where Stevie's going to come out here. This is going to be close, I think. Neil Farmack's coming over the line now. Stevie's still coming down the pit lane. There goes Neil. Where's Stevie? There he is. So Stevie comes out behind Neil, but where's Bidzster? Stevie's there, Bidzster's there. So Stevie comes out in front of Bidzster, but Bidzster's closed that gap down a little bit, which is good. So more or less the same gaps as what it were before, but Bidzster's just pulled it back a little bit, which is good after that spin he had earlier on in the race. So Blakeney, the last car on track not to pit, and he's still doing 49.8, so why would he? He's still got the pace, so why pit yet if it still feels good? So Blakeney then going through there, Johnny then coming down towards the same few corners. Right around. But Johnny's definitely got to be on that primary tyre, because he's just gone flat through there, and you can't really do that on the alternate tyre. He's got to have some sort of a lift, so he's definitely on the right tyres. There's Neil Farmack then in third place. Stevie in 4th, Bidzster in 5th. They're all roughly just over 1 to 1.5 seconds apart from each other. So there's Bidzster, there's Stevie. See if the gap can close in anymore. We're just approaching 3/4 distance in this race, like 15 out of 21. Blakeney still goes round again, so Blakeney is probably might even take it up to the last lap, but to the last few laps. But 54.5 that last time round, so it looks like the tyres are definitely going off here. As Johnny goes across the line at 48.9, still in the 48s. Incredible pace here by Johnny. Farmack just about to come over the line, so he's got quite a big gap from him to Johnny as well. 3 seconds to Stevie, who's there coming across the line. Then Bidzster only 1.5 seconds behind Stevie now, trying all he can to try and keep with the Team Penske Chevrolet in the AJ40 Enterprises Honda. Bidzster looking good here to win the championship as well. So I think by my calculations, actually, I think I got the calculations a bit wrong. I think Bidzster actually won the championship in the last race. So well done to Bidzster on being champion of this season already. So that's just what happens when you take all these wins. So yes, belated big congratulations to Bidzster, who wins this championship. So well done to Bidzster. I do apologise for that late delay, guys. It's just that obviously I had not done the calculations properly just until now. So Bidzster then wins. Just as I say, he's won the championship. He spins round, does a little half turn, and then gets back going again. So there's no chance of getting past Stevie now unless they absolutely throw it away. So Bidzster not having a good race here, but still, might as well have a bad race now. You've won the championship. So, but Bidzster then trying to press on. The champion still trying to catch up to Stevie. Johnny McMullen then, he's not far off Blakeney. Blakeney's you got to think that the tyres are up on. Yeah, he's doing so wide now. The tyres have just given up on him. If Blakeney doesn't pit now, he's stupid not to do so. But Blakeney does pit now, so he's not stupid, which is good. So Blakeney comes into the pits then, finds the line. There it is, there's the line. And then we go into the pits. Johnny McMullen then will resume his lead of this race as they start lap 17. Johnny McMullen resumes the lead from Blakeney. There he goes, over the line in the lead of the race. Passes Blakeney. And let's see where Blakeney rejoins then. So he's into his pit box now. Neil Farmack's just coming over the line. Stevie there makes a little mistake in the background. Bidzster trying to catch up and trying not to flat spot any more tyres. Blake's still in the pits. He's just coming out of the pits now. Stevie's gone past, and Bidzster will probably go past as well. So Bidzster will go past. So Blakeney will definitely rejoin in 5th place because Gummy Bear is still about a minute behind the leader. He's only just coming on to the back section of the track. So Blakeney should be definitely safe rejoining in 5th place there as he comes down the end of the pit lane and gets to the green cones. Limiter goes off and back up to racing speed. No one around him, and he can just cruise to the end now. He's got 13.5 seconds, maybe 14 seconds by the time he gets up to speed on Bidzster, and then 27.5 seconds to Gummy Bear. So big gap here. There's Johnny McMullen in there. So like I said, guys, we are looking for more people to make this championship more interesting because we've lost a lot of numbers recently. Obviously we've got unfortunately we've got had a few people leave just out of their medical circumstances, so obviously they can't help that. So keep fighting, Callum, and keep fighting Thunder. So Thunder unfortunately, guys, has come down with an illness as well, so unfortunately we're not going to see him for a few weeks, but we'll see if we can make the odd week. So but then obviously we have got the return of Footman, hopefully at the next round in Laguna Seca. So we should have Footman returning to the championship full time, which would be good. So congratulations to him and his family on the good news of bringing life into the world, and hopefully we'll see him back, which will be very good indeed because that'll be increase the numbers. Hopefully keep fighting Callum as well because he should be making a comeback at some point. So hopefully within the next few weeks. So it is good news on Callum's front. So good to hear as we look at the leader, Johnny McMullen, 11 seconds, proving the dominance of himself. 11 seconds ahead of Neil Farmack, who there he is in 2nd place. Going to be decent points for Neil Farmack. He needs some better points this season. He's currently fighting Stevie for 2nd place, and there's only a handful of points in it. And when I mean handful, I mean like 3 or 4. So not much at all between the two. And Stevie there is the man who I'm talking about in the grey silvery grey Verizon car in the Team Penske. So his teammate Gummy Bear in 6th, but Stevie still soldiering on in 3rd place. A good position for him. Bidzster then in the background, he's on, so look at the lap times, 48.9 for Bidzster last time around. So when Bidzster can actually get the car working, it's fast. So this might not be over for third place yet. Bidzster might still yet be able to come back as he slides his way up the hill, and yeah, you can see the gap coming down now. There's Stevie just ahead, and Bidzster just behind. Didn't make a mistake that time, Bidzster. As we go down the hill, Stevie goes through there. Let's have a look on board with Bidzster then, down to the bottom end of the corner. Into the left, turns in early, brushes the curb, gets on the power, fights the car. Rear end, remember these rear tyres on these primaries are not very grippy. They like to slide around a lot. The front end grips quite well, but the back end just doesn't like to have it. But again, Bidzster trying with all his might to try and catch up to Stevie in front of him. But Stevie doing a cracking job here to keep hold of third. So we'll have a little update on the lap times next time round. So we've got Johnny McMullen coming towards the line. Let's see what he does this time. Johnny McMullen, 12 seconds ahead of Neil, so he's pulled out another second on Neil, so this should be a quick lap. 48.439. Good lap there from Johnny McMullen. We look at Neil Farmack, he's coming up to the line now. We can see Bidzster and Stevie just coming through, shot in the background. So Neil Farmack, let's see what his lap time is here as we go across the line. 50.6 for Neil, Stevie 50.7 last time. And a 50.2 this time, and Bidzster on a 49.3, so Bidzster's going faster than the lot of them, almost a second faster. So Bidzster on lap 19, then lap 19, the last lap to pit in this race, but obviously they've all done the pit stops already, so we don't have to worry about that. But Bidzster on the move then, trying to catch up to Stevie best he can. There's Stevie, there's Bidzster, so the gap visually at 1.5 seconds. Trying to do all he can. Just needs to keep it incident free, and he might be able to pick up a position. We'll see. Johnny's 2 seconds ahead of Neil. Only 2. It's gone down from 12 seconds to 2. So 10 seconds lost there from Johnny McMullen. He must have made a mistake somewhere. So I don't know what happened there, but we'll get a replay. Okay, here's the replay. What happened to Johnny McMullen for him to lose that 12-second lead into turn 2, and then catches the curb, puts the power down, and goes right round and actually hits the wall on the inside, and then quickly finds reverse, quickly finds first gear, and gets back going. But Neil Farmack is a lot closer now. So as we come back from that, then all of a sudden, it's the top 4 within 8 seconds of each other. So Johnny McMullen goes through there under the bridge. He's in the lead. There goes Neil Farmack under the bridge. He is second. And here comes Stevie under that bridge. He's third with Bidzster right behind him in 4th. So game on. One more mistake from any of these front runners and they can guarantee they're going to lose a position. So race on here at Road America with approaching the penultimate lap of the race. So just over 2 laps left in this race. And it's just about starting to get exciting. So Johnny then 2.5 seconds in front. Neil with a job to do. Johnny McMullen's made his life a bit easier now, but see what happens. There's Bidzster then still trying to edge closer to Stevie, but can't quite make it happen yet. We go on to the top. Hopefully people are using the push to pass, or trying to use them all up. Neil closes up to Johnny. Let's see if we can see Johnny ahead. We go over here, we can see, just saw the name tag display. You should be able to see him as you come into view. There he is in the lead, coming around that second corner. Neil Farmack follows him behind. As we see Stevie, there's Bidzster on board with Bidzster. We see Stevie ahead. So Stevie there, as we get on the power out this corner. They're trying to push hard now. 1.1 seconds now between Bidzster and Stevie. 1.1 to 1.2 seconds. The gap is coming down. As we go down to the end here, we're just going to watch Bidzster into this braking zone behind Stevie. It's over the curb very nicely there as we go over the top. As we look at Stevie under the Corvette bridge and into the corner. Very nice through there for Stevie. Bidzster must have had a little mistake into there. He's lost a bit of time, lost a good half a second there. Must have had a little wobble on the way in, but he's recovered it. But still, he's lost a good half a second, so he's got to gain that back. And with only a lap, and he's lost it. Bidzster loses the back end. The back end of the car just being absolutely rubbish now for him. And Bidzster will be cursing there. He was catching Stevie. He knew he was. Look at him now. He's on it. He's angry, driving angry now. So Bidzster then down. Obviously still in 4th place, but. He's lost a good, well, you look at the gap now, it was 1.1, now it's 4.3 seconds, so he's Lost a lot of time there. Lost a good 3 seconds there. So lucky for him. So meanwhile, Johnny McMullen comes out of the last corner on the penultimate lap of the race to start the last lap. The last lap of this race. There he goes over the line, and the last lap for him was a 1:49.7, and Neil does a 1:49.9, so still a couple of tenths in it, but again, Johnny's got the 3-second gap he needs. It was 12 earlier on in the race, but he didn't help himself with a little spin that we saw earlier. Stevie goes through there in third, with not much pressure behind from Bidzster now, because Bidzster's not, he made that mistake there, so, he's made another one there. Oh, off he goes, round he goes. The rear tyres have just called time. The rear tyres have had enough. They are just not working anymore. And so Bidzster struggling with the car now, just wants to get the car home to the end now. I think Bidzster will just want to go home after this, but not good for the championship winner. But still, everyone has to have a bad race at some point in order to have good ones, because it's called karma and it bites you back. So Johnny McMullen taking it nice and steady, not wanting to make any mistakes on this last lap, looking for his first win with LPB Racing. He's definitely got the driving speed, he's got the talent, so just needs to work on his one-on-one battles, and when he's in a pack just needs to be a bit more patient. And I do like the passion that he brings with him, obviously trying to get to the front as fast as he can, but the thing is, it's not always the way to do it. You've got to be precise and calculated sometimes. You can't just go for gaps that aren't there, but you know, we do like the passion that he brings. And Johnny McMullen is about to be a winner in LPB Racing. He's coming to the last corner now. Down the gears, don't make a mistake now, Johnny, because it's almost home. You're out of the last corner. Unless your engine blows up now, you're going to get this. You could push this across the line from here. Johnny McMullen weaves from side to side, takes his first win with LPB Racing, and goes on the grass a bit, but well done to Johnny McMullen. Takes his first win with LPB Racing. Neil a good second place there. Stevie's going to take third. He'll be happy with that after the miserable first race result, and, well, crashes himself across the line, so not the best finish there for Stevie, but hey-ho. Bidzster then comes over the line in fourth position. Fourth position for Bidzster. He'll not be happy with that, but still, at least he's champion. That's one silver lining. As Blakeney's then going to come up to the line in fifth. And for a definite fifth for Blakeney, unless he throws it away now with all this weaving he's doing. But we'll see. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, into the wall, and then across the line. And Gummy Bear is definitely going to be in sixth place. So we'll just get those results confirmed for you now, guys. Okay, guys, so after that, it is Johnny McMullen who takes the win in this race. Well done to Johnny. First victory in LPB Racing for him. Well done. Neil in second. Third is Stevie. Fourth for Bidzster. Terrible race for him. Fifth for Blakeney. Sixth for Gummy Bear. And Keith, unfortunately, DQs himself from the race. And now we move on to the standings. It is Bidzster on 244 points. He's the champion now. Neil on 166, 1 point ahead of Stevie on 165. Blake on 132. TY still on 92, as not appearing. Brad is on 87, Keith 80, Johnny McMullen now up to 8th place on 71, Callum 64, Gummy Bear 62, Will 61, that's very close between them, and Growley on 16. Teams, AJ4 Enterprises obviously got the championship already, 410 points, 227 for Team Penske, 212 for Andretti, and 153 for Dale Coyne Racing. So as we come back from that then, there is your winner. First time winner in LPB Racing, Johnny McMullen in the Pertec Team Murray Racing Chevrolet. Well done to him. And we will see you guys next time for the final round, round 7 of this championship at Laguna Seca. We will see you then, guys. Take care.